Colleen Hardy. So cool. Forces, Flora and Fauna Oracle. Okay. You can find this on Etsy, but she also has her own website, Colleen, Colleen Hardy, Hardy, and it's like .com. She has her own website, and these are more nature oriented. They're more intuitive. They are fantastic for doing more self work. So, just get a little sip. Antihistamines do dry my mouth, so. Oh. Super windy here out there. What you're hearing, sometimes in the background today, has been the wind. I've realized playing it back, I'm like, who was moving furniture? It's like, oh shoot. I just came in, I heard it. It's like, oh, that was the wind, probably moving whatever is outside all around. Very, very windy here and rainy. So we're going to open up and focus on what the universe, what spirit wants to convey to you through my platform here, and just using me as an interpreter of these keys. And this is something I offer my viewers. I've got to shift my weight. Sorry. I'm just like perpetually sliding. Help, help. And so that's what I'm going to do. This is for your Monday through Friday, starting tomorrow. I'm going to move that there. Gotta reposition this a little, and forgive me for any unpleasant noise. Yeah, we'll make do. Okay. Beautiful deck. Beautiful artwork. This is all hand done. I read that much, and I'm kind of a fan woman, because I'm not a girl anymore, and that's okay. But I'm a big fan of Colleen's and her decks. I just found them so wonderful to use and insightful. Beautiful art. This is, I think, one of her best. Well, I like them all for different reasons. Each deck is like its own child. Apples and oranges, we just can't compare. And we shan't. We love them all. All right. So I ask Spirit, I ask the spirit of our ancestors, that of the Creator, that of the spirit of the earth, and all that is, because we're all interconnected. We're all one. I know it sounds corny, but it's true. And so I just ask for assistance, for clarity through the spirit, to relay to viewers, to help them through their week or couple weeks, who knows, but just to get the message out to them. And I offer this platform for you guys, so I'm just going to kind of tune in. Okay. We get the card of the snake. beautiful. You guys see that? It's like the tides. Oh gosh, this is beautiful though. It's very psychedelic, like the tides. Next to the moon, and the birch tree. Always love birch trees. Big thing with Labians. This is really pretty decked too. Just doesn't do it justice, so save up, but know that her decks can go pretty quickly and they can go out of print, but she does her best to keep her fans happy. And she even included a little handwritten note, and I've kept it because, yeah, I am a fan lady. Whatever. Okay. All right, so we have birch. That's really beautiful, and moon, and the snake, and the tides. So we're, you know, boy, there's a lot. Well, the snake and the moon, and even the tides, are giving me again that shadow essence vibe that we are still working with, which would make sense given that we are going from, if you think about it, at least 5 years of really toxic conditions and strangeness, trauma. That's right, trauma. And it's still reverberating. There's, you know, there's still things happening, unfortunately, as a result. But now we're getting to a place where we can start to begin to work on that. And that's what I feel like I'm seeing here. I'm just going to, and this is the only thing that she offers with these, is just a real quick, it's more of intuitive, but there's, she gives you a real quick guide. So that would be the tides. Okay, yeah, that's of course about change and natural cycles, part of that. And the snake is eternity and you know, knowledge. It can be about sensuality, fertility, renewal of life. I think about this, when I said that, I thought about the snake with the tail in its mouth, that symbol. So we're at it again. I feel like the first two cards are definitely denoting we are at again. And I think it's hard for us because we're so caught up in this moment. It's hard to kind of be objective. But we're in a very, I feel like a broken record, but we're in a very significant moment. Indeed. And there's a lot of change. So, you know, some of us like change or are more open to it and try to go with the flow. And that's what I got a message for me personally was, you know, just some of this will be difficult. Just try and relax a little bit and not, because I try to control stuff. My disability makes me want to try to do that. and a lot of other people too. It's, you know, it's just natural that we try to make ourselves safe or whatever. But I was told, like, use your common sense, but relax. Come on. So I'm learning how to do that, because we don't want to continue to have our energies drained by maintaining a, what would you call, hypervigilance. We need to get out of that mode. It's important. And it doesn't mean that that you have to be glued to Twitter or anything else. But give yourself air. These tides, this is a natural change that's meant to come in. And I feel like I'm looking at it, you know, from a bigger picture, and from the eternity point with that snake, because the way I saw the snake was not as the sexy snake. It was the eternity Om snake, you know. So we didn't get the sexy snake this time. Okay, maybe next time. But it's really beautiful, and like, I'm thinking about how a snake sheds its skin, and there's wisdom. This is the positive aspect of the snake, and I can speak a little bit about my cultural background. Traditionally, I was told that Latvians regarded snakes as you did not harm them. That you, particularly, you know, they didn't have anything really poisonous over there. But anyway, you respected and honored the snake, because the snakes were actually very helpful to farmers and eating rodents and so on. They respected their place in the ecosystem, and so they were revered. And something about, I don't know, leaving in a saucer of milk. Are snakes lactose intolerant? What were these Latvians doing? Anyway, I don't know. The idea was you give a very great gift. You show it respect. You do not kill it. It is to have reverence. It's good fortune. So the snake shedding its skin here and working with the shadow side, and I feel like we are just changing our energy, and I'm sure many of you feel that shift. I'm feeling it like never before. I mean, I felt like I've got to tell you, I hadn't really noticed the power that eclipses can have until this last couple of years, where we had these, you know, crazy number of, it felt like, really, well, at least for me anyway, and I know other people too, they were having real intense shifts and stuff with these eclipses, and they knock you out. And this is kind of some of that too, some of that kind of turbulence as we shift in from one cycle to another, and there's the kind of just go with the flow, don't fight it, so that it's not that an anxious, unpleasant, unnecessarily experience, because you have to work with some shadow, because we're working, he's stuck us with so much fear, even though we were like trying to put up shields and, you know, all a matter of things. Oh, we've got a problem now. The cat wants out. afraid I'm going to have to. There's no way I know how to pause this at this point. Hold on a moment. Oh, okay. I think I need to tell I didn't realize my daughter's cat, my grandbaby Bear, is in here, and she's being very good. How you got in here, Bear, and I did not know. Sorry, guys. I hope she gets this. If not, we're gonna have a meowing cat on our hands. Maybe that'll get her attention. I don't feel like screaming. That wouldn't be nice anyway. She's coming, Bear. You're such a good girl. You should see her. She's sitting there. Anyway. I hope so. The tides, the moon, you know, we're dealing with phases, very, very natural phases. Your darling is ready. Thank you. And letting go. Part of this is us letting go of what the fear and the poison and the toxin, and making sure that it's really cleansed and cleared out of our subconscious nooks and crannies, you know, the cobwebs, where he can try and suck energy out of you. And by that I mean negative people like Trump and that kind of stuff. It's time for us to, you know, there's a way that we can keep abreast of what's going on without being pulled in and manipulated by people that just zap our energy. It's precious. We have a lot to deal with, and so we have to learn how to prioritize our energy. And it is not on this clown so much. Just, you know, keeping an eye, and we'll do that. Now we have other things, many, many other things. So now we're working on, I think, the clearing out and the shedding of the old skin, I feel like, and going and we're going up a level. And this means you don't go up a level by just doing, oh, love and light and woo-woo work. You do it by facing your fears, facing your attachments, and what you need to work in life. These cards are slippery enough, though, to slide all over my lap. I love them, though. A beautiful, beautiful deck, Colleen. And I feel like this is with awareness. In the center of the tide, there is the eye. And the eye represents awareness, mindfulness. And that is really what we are, the more mindful, that's what we're called, in my opinion, really, in this existence, once we come in this flesh, and even when we're not in flesh, it's all about awareness, consciousness, and as well as what's not conscious, and trying to get to certain alignment. You know, just, that's all I know. I also feel like this is old wisdoms, looking at old wisdoms coming back in at a way in order to shift or go through shifts of consciousness and, you know, of residence, of, you know, with health, and a variety of means, looking at traditional concepts with new concepts that have been based upon old. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm just meant to do it, so I'm going to continue. Okay. There's old wisdom coming back too with these tides, old wisdom coming in on these tides, as this old toxic tide goes out, we're looking at this resurgence of it's cleansing, and we're looking at, you know, healing, wholeness, and wholeness means inclusiveness. So it's once again we are getting the nod, the message of inclusiveness and mindful awareness towards inclusiveness, and changing and shifting out of an old pattern that is truly based upon wisdom. That is updating, that humanity is evolving, updating. Definitely here. And with that moon. Now, just very briefly, see what the moon and the birch card are. Pardon me. Well, the moon, of course, changes, decisions, life cycle, fertility. Okay? And the tides, change, natural cycles, influences, and attraction. Keep these words as key. You can replay this video as much as you want, even write it down and just see if anything like that pops up over the week. Let me know. So we have, there's so much on these phases and shifts and changes. We're still so much kind of in the center of the whirlwind, yet, well, not the center because that would be more calm, but we're still kind of getting our sense of grounding. So the moon is like decisions that we have coming up in connection to these changes from the way it was and what Trump did. I feel like this is a lot of things that we'll be seeing with, I didn't mean to, but I'm just getting that. But I also feel like it doesn't just go for him. These changes where we have to deal with letting go and opening up to something transformative. And if you don't do that, it's like you're not going to be a happy camper. And not that that's what the most important thing is. I mean, it is to a degree, but the moon, the tides, the snake. It's very feminine energy again coming in. The moon and the tides. I think also I should probably look at any significant moon activity this week. But regardless, this is dealing with emotional, subconscious shadow, bringing it to light, processing. If you're feeling more tired than usual, certainly take a multivitamin, always a good idea. And make sure that you've got vitamin, and now comments from the popcorn gallery here. Vitamin D. Yeah. Most of us not getting enough of that. So, I feel like birch, though, was left out. Pardon-moi. It's very stormy out there. I kind of like it. Until the electricity goes out, and then I'm like, no! I'm cold. Let's see, birch. And now for a brief intermission. Dun, 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 dun. Birch, where the heck are ya? That's what's the thing they give you. Wait a minute, what's the number on that? It's all in, okay, 25 Roman numerals. Must be on this one. Right? Yeah, 2 10s. I know it's probably staring me in the face, and it's just because I'm starting to get a little tired, but I'm okay. I just haven't figured out a way to put this one on pause yet, but I do like using this system to get things up faster. Just bear with me for a mo. I will see if I can't edit it out. I hope I'm not missing another number of cards. Butterfly. Okay, well, there's definitely... I think I'm missing one. John, I am. Must be in the deck here yet somewhere. Oh no, here it is. Of course, that would happen, yeah. A day in the life, no, a moment. I hate little writing. We're getting closer. There's 4. Oh, birch tree. Hope, fertility, love, innocence, gentleness. Sorry, guys. Took a long time to get through that. So again, you know what? Birch says it's important. I keep getting also hope. It is not foolish to have hope. And we have a reason to have a lot of hope right now. I see that there's a growing empathy in people as a result, and it's having gone through some shared really deep emotional trauma crap. And we've collectively done that in a way, because we've all been, with the pandemic, had to go online, where some of us who are disabled a little bit more used to that, but for people that are more able-bodied and very, very mobile, and even those of us who are not, I gotta tell you, just really challenging. But we were able and are able to have community online, which is great. And because a lot of people need that extra resource of support. And I think it's a good one for the most part. It just depends on what you're looking at. And I see us going towards, I feel like, healthier, more empathetic, moving out of a time of, I feel like, kind of a time where this rugged, masculine, manly, toxic stuff was paramount. Getting out of that age, it's like an old age. That's why I feel like it's an era. It's not just like a decade, or it's an era. It's more than it's an age. That snake that makes me feel like, oh, it's old, baby. We get the rose coming under the snake. Sure is pretty. Perfection, lasting love, beauty, passion. And in this aspect, there's also roses with this snake, which has the knowledge, eternity knowledge. There was no comma there. That's why I read it like that. Eternity knowledge. Okay. Knowledge of eternity. sensuality, fertility, renewal of life. So there's a real focus on renewal and hope and a shift from the dark, as is a normal cycle of what we're going through, but one now where we are going toward the lighter, entering into that light and shifting off and sloughing off a lot of the slime that we've been slimed with for the last 5 years. It's a real thing. And we're realizing how much we value the beauty, I think, in truth, of creating a more loving society, compassionate society, where there's wisdom and facts and people aren't foolish. Focus on the wisdom here with this, sugar. Sorry, folks. You know, I do the best I can, but sometimes... Yeah, okay. Willow tree. Oh, it's so pretty, especially in the rain. Willow tree. And again, this is Colleen Hardy's deck. Flora, Fauna. The Forces, Flora and Fauna Oracle deck. Okay. Oh, how beautiful. Lotus. I've always loved them. Remember, up from the mud comes the lotus, this beautiful flower that goes through all kinds of toxicity and tough circumstance. And we're getting these cards of renewal, refreshment, and blooming, blossoming as we process this stuff. So we're encouraged to. I will bop back to the willow. I used to know all this kind of symbology. With the trees and stuff. Toad. That's usually kind of psychedelic magic. Interesting. Put that right. And it's falling under the birch. So I'm going to just do these two for you guys. Hopefully I will not lose my voice. So it looks like you're continuing to do your shadow work. As am I. That's why I have to take these few days here and there. Plus then I've had family obligations, and those were actually fun. So let's go with the rose. So we have this last line across. We would go with perfection, lasting love, beauty, passion, willow tree. Good feeling. 27. Flexibility, that's right. Intuition, imagination, acceptance. And that is next to perfection, lasting love, beauty, passion. Is imagination, intuition, acceptance. And I feel like, again, feed your soul what feels good, what makes you, that's healthy, that's a positive. It's really important. And pay attention to your intuition as you're going through, I'd say, journal work. Again, I just can't say it enough. Jot down, because it's really, for me anyway, the way my brain processes things. I find that that works really well. Sometimes I never read it. Other things I will read, but a lot of it for me is just simply getting it out. And a lot of times I'll burn it. But I feel like there's letting go, the need to let go. And that means you need to let go of anything that's going to hold you back from blossoming, from moving forward out of a negative into a positive so that you can bloom more fully. I still want to see what that toad means at the end. What do you mean, Toady? What are you here to tell us? Oh, fertility, good luck, patience, balance. We will accept that. Thank you. And Lotus, peace, wisdom, purity, rebirth. We get so much on rebirth and using intuition and renew yourself, reinvent yourself. Think about a makeover. Even as a makeover, not only physically and what you wear, but a makeover in your mentality. And I'd say always remember rebirth. Shed the negative self-talk, especially. And especially things regarding your sexuality or your expression, and your sense of beauty and your trust in your innate intuition and wisdom, and that you have something to offer. And don't let people shut you down. That's like that they're taking up, space in your head for free. Kick them out. Raise the rent and kick them out. They don't get to take up space in your mind. You have to do this. You have to let go. It can be emotional too. So get your tissues. Allow yourself to get it out. Because, we've held a lot in. I just keep tissues, toilet paper, whatever I can find in this house, and just try to work it out. And I feel like really focusing on releasing these toxins and releasing anything that's a negative pattern that you tend to maybe unconsciously impose upon yourself. Like, well, that would be something that so-and-so could do, but never me, I couldn't do that, But you realize that you're attracted to, let's say, I don't know, chess. Like I just was watching the Queen's Gambit. Start to learn, read up on it. There's no reason that you can't. And you are at a point, and we are all at a point now where we are called to reinvent ourselves and let go of that which does not serve a higher purpose now, so that we can embrace something much, much better. Trust me, let's let go of this. It's not worth. We have something better in store. You cannot receive a better gift. You cannot receive or give of yourself if you're holding on to old garbage. So, you want to heal, you want to grow. You have to face the shadow element, and realistically. And it also speaks of being gentle with yourself. It also speaks of being compassionate with yourself. Look at all this. It's very loving and very healing energy. I feel like, it's, even though it can be hard to get outside, whatnot, if you've got to maybe get a little orchid or a little simple plant with a flower that's something that will bloom around this time of year that you can keep indoors. I just feel like that connection to nature is really important if you're unable to get out to outside to enjoy nature due to inclement weather or health issues, what have you. Just make sure that you're getting a dose of that in, because it's really important. It is. And we are just going into a new cycle where we're getting a chance to bump up our intuition, our powers of intuition. But again, we can't do it with hands full of grubby old baggage. Again, in order to be refreshed and level up, we have to be ready to accept, be open. That means being a bit vulnerable, and that makes most people a bit uncomfortable, but aware, but open, and mindful. And if you haven't done so, you might want to look into definitely some of the means about the Buddhists, again, the idea of clinging and letting go. It helps me a lot, or helped me. That's something I refer to in my mind when I'm trying to consciously work on shedding old patterns. So meditation, tailor it to yourself. I mean, the meditations out there, you don't have to do it a certain way and if you have certain, like with me, certain health conditions, tailor it to yourself, but so that you can be awake for some of it, And that's where the journaling helps me to consciously process the thought. And I think I can only say for myself that was very, very important. And again, don't say things to yourself that you would never say to your friend, to your family, or to anybody that you respect or love. Because we often, I know that's been a theme lately, but I think it's a theme that many of us can relate to. We're much meaner to ourselves than we would be to anybody else. It's like when you stop and you think, ooh, I am being mean to myself. And you have to stop those negative patterns, because they drain you and they keep you from growing. They hold you back. It's an old pattern, and we are called to let go of old patterns that are broken, that need to be let go of, so that we can have revitalization, and our energy will come back up. We're not going to feel quite as drained. We have the gift of balance with the toad. That looks darn good. So do that inner work, because then on the horizon it pays off. You're going to be feeling physically, mentally much brighter, much lighter, and refreshed. All right? All right. Another long video. Oh my gosh. All right. See you sometime this week. I will be sooner than you think, I'm sure. All right. If you like this content, please make sure to like and subscribe. And again, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.